Hey guys, it's the Dutch Master and welcome to this brand new, very exciting video about The Sims 4 because today I'm here with the trailer breakdown of the trailer of the third and brand new The Sims 4 expansion pack called City Living. I made a video already about the fact that there were leaks hinting towards a city expansion pack, but today I'm happy to announce that there is indeed a city expansion pack coming. It's coming on November 1st. Worldwide, which is awesome. It's the first worldwide release of an expansion pack, and yeah, I'm just very excited about the theme. I've seen the trailer already, it's awesome, so therefore I'll just show you the trailer first, and then afterwards I'll talk about the trailer and just analyze it a bit. Just stop it wherever I see something special, but I guess I'll have to stop it at every frame because there's so much special things in this trailer and I'm so excited about this expansion pack. So just first watch the trailer and then I'll get right back to you. Alright, so that was the trailer. Please let me know what you thought of it in the comments. I'm very curious to hear about your first thoughts on this. And then we're just jumping right into the breakdown. And yeah, we've actually put the first frame on stop already. And that's because there's already so much to say about it. And this is, of course, you've seen the trailer. And there are very many different neighborhoods in this world. That's kind of obvious because this is more, if you would refer to New York, Brooklyn styled, I think, or just not like mid-Manhattan, but more like the outer areas, kinda. So it's not with the huge skyscrapers, but still it's clearly a city. I mean, we've got public transport over here, which is really cool. We've got very many people in the streets. In the back you see a car, because cars are coming back. I've also seen like a render of a garage already, which I believe I did not see back in the trailer, so we might see that back somewhere else. But that car is yellow, so maybe it's like a cab. That could be a new function, but it's also clear that there will be buses because you've got this bus stop right in the middle of this frame, and also you've got electric like lines going through the city and some gravity over here, but I'll get back to the gravity later on. And then we go right over into what I would refer to as Central Park. I think I'll make many references to New York because, of course, that's in the end the city in the world. In my opinion, I've never been there, but it's like it's the city. Also for the movies, everyone always talks about New York as the city, the biggest city, even though it's not the biggest city in the world. I know that, but yeah, this is just a cool park environment. It kind of like inspires me or makes me think of New Crust. So definitely, it's not really a special new environment, but it is kind of a chilled vibe. We've got that electric box over here, and I think honestly that electrician is like a new profession that will be in this expansion pack. I must honestly say I've not read the description yet, but I've seen very many references to like electronics and currents and stuff in this trailer, so therefore I think that will actually be the case. I'll explain later on in the trailer why, or with another reference to like that electricity thing. So here we've got like a girl looking at her map, or at least, yeah, it's a map, but it might actually see like a double iPad, which has got Google Maps on. We've again got the bus stop, and in the back you also see some more public transport because that's the train, or like the railway system, whatever it is. Might be a subway, might be a train. We've also got like new trash cans, new bushes, and just a really city looking environment. We've got like an I don't know what you would actually call it, like an overpass, I guess, what she's standing on, which is very typical for a big city. I mean, you don't have that in a little village. And then here we've got like a shot which made me very excited for this expansion pack, because you see like the entire skyscraper and the frame is moving up towards this awesome house, which is simply on the top of it. So it's kind of like a penthouse, but it's very clear that you can just actually, you've just got a lot on the top of the penthouse, and I believe you can literally do anything with it, or I mean a lot on the top of the skyscraper. And then of course you can build a penthouse, which is kind of a logical thing to do, but I think you can just build anything on top of that building, on top of a skyscraper, and that makes that you've got so much freedom. I'm not totally sure about it, I've never spoken to like any developers about this, but it seems like this is the case. You can also make a rooftop pool, which is what, in my opinion, the coolest thing out there, especially an infinity rooftop pool. So maybe, I don't think so, but maybe we can create foundations on the top of this, and that would make that we might actually be able to make infinity pools, and we can recreate that infinity pool in Singapore, which I talked about in one of the previous videos, which I think is one of the coolest pools out there in the world. So yeah, this is really cool. We've got a new door, which you see with kind of a half arc on the top of it. Furthermore, yeah, I'm not going too much into items in this video, simply because with an expansion pack there are simply so many items with it that it's very hard to say so. Also, here you just saw the logo, and I must honestly say I'm kind of proud, because when I made the leak video I made my own logo for the expansion pack, or what I expected the logo to be, and it was blue as well. And back in that video I said that, whoa, if the actual logo is going to be blue, I feel like I just had such a foresight, I guess. But I guess I did, because the logo is blue in the end. Here we've got a really cool overlook of the cityscape, just entirely in its entirety, with not very many modern buildings. This is more of the Brooklyn style area, I guess, with just kind of older buildings, but really creating a city vibe as well. There's water around, which is kind of regular for a city. I mean, cities are often built around water, of course, but it just looks really cool. You've got a highway in the back there. Again, there will definitely be cars with this expansion pack. There's no other way that, yeah, I can't imagine that there won't be. I don't actually see too many items here. In the back you also see a really cool big park, which we'll be zooming in onto later on in the video as well. So now here we've got street art. You can now create street art, not only this kind of street art, but also graffiti, which you'll see later on in the trailer, I believe. But this is really cool already. It would definitely be even crazier if you could build like, or create those crazy like, what are it, like strange illusions, so that you think that if you walk on it you actually step down in like a big hole, but actually it's just a 3D drawing kinda. I'm always amazed by those kinds of artworks on the streets, and I actually never want to walk on them, and you often see them on the internet as well. So that's really cool. Furthermore, we've got like some flags around it, and just a city environment with many benches and stuff. And then here we've got the entrance of what I think is a park. It seems logical. We've got someone who's just playing music, with some new items, with the, like, that very cheap thing which she puts like her light or her music, I don't know what it is, on. And we've got a big fountain, the cityscape in the background, which simply makes me so happy, because the entire environment in the world is going to be so much better, so much different, just something which is going to be totally new to the game, which I'm very happy with, and which I really wanted. The Sims will get together and get to work were good, but they didn't add like a new atmosphere to the game, and I think this is definitely going to be like an actual game-changing expansion pack, in my opinion. So yeah, let's just continue looking at the next shot, which is protest, because you can now protest. Here you see that the Sims are protesting for human rights, I guess, because at least it's something concerning the earth. And yeah, that's kind of realistic, because when you're in a city, often there are protests, or if there are protests, they often happen in the city. You never see a protest or a big protest like this one in a village. It's just something that happens in cities. It might be part of like a new club, or a new club for get together. Maybe you can do like the protesting club, or you can invent protests for your clubs and get together. That would be pretty awesome. I just came up with that, but I think that would actually be kind of a cool addition to be able to protest to get more rights as a club. I guess maybe if that's not actually a thing, they could maybe add it, because it might not be the biggest thing to do, and it is kind of cool to do, I guess. But maybe it's possible already. Then the next shot, you've got a human statue. Whenever you go to a city, if you've ever been to a big city, like for instance New York, but also I've seen it in Barcelona a lot, you've got much of this on the Ramblas, I believe. That's definitely not how you pronounce it in English, probably, but it's a Spanish word, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it's like those people who are like statues. You see them in Rome a lot as well, though. Just very many places around the world, but they just stand still, or they act as if they're like statues, and then you give them money, and then they either scare you, or they just make a movement, or they say thank you, or something like that. It's always, it's not the favorite thing of a city for me, but it's kind of cool that they added it in the expansion pack, I guess we could say. It's kind of a cool thing. And then here we've got a basketball field, which is really cool, because this is finally something which we can outdoors or at like to the garden in the houses. I'm really happy with it. It's just cool, it's realistic, it's a new activity which you can play as Sims. Please note, by the way, that in these videos often I do not talk about like either clothing, so create a sim items, or too much about the gameplay, because I just want the general feel of the game and just what the world looks like. But I don't want to talk too much about the gameplay, because I simply don't know too much about it, and then I probably make a mistake and say that something is new even though it's not. But also in the back you see like advertisements or commercial boards, which you actually, I believe, have never seen in The Sims 4 before, or at least I can't remember or recall that there were advertisement boards. And then here you see that power cut, which I refer to, and then here I put it, I just stopped the frame again, but what you just saw was like that there was a power cut, and that was another reference to electricity, and maybe the electrician becoming like a new career in the game, or just electricity becoming more realistic, something like that, but I'm not too sure about it. It's just speculation, which some parts of this video mainly are, but it's not a leak anymore, so it's not only speculation. Here we've got we are introduced to the more Asian Oriental feel in the game, and I believe this is kind of Hindu styled with very colorful living rooms. Really cool. I think I'm definitely going to build something in this style. Definitely for maybe I can do an around the world speed build from India for this, because I believe this is Indian, and I really like those what do you call them? Before the windows, the curtains, that's it. I really like those. You can actually add those really well in a modern house as well. I think if you don't add too much color in the rest of the furniture, that color can actually add kind of a cool touch. And also this light, it already existed, but I believe they've added a new color combination, so that's kind of cool. And just they're playing video games, which is kind of awesome as well. I'm not sure whether that was possible before in The Sims 4, but hey, it's possible now. And then here we've got the more modern contemporary industrial loft, and in the back you see a brand new bed. Finally, new beds in The Sims 4. We've had the game for 2 years, and there's only been like 2 new beds and 1,000 new chairs, but a new bed finally. I believe there are at least 2 new beds coming, because I've seen 2 of them already, and also those tables next to the bed are really cool. They're just very modern, and just definitely a style which I really like. Also, we've got this keyboard piano, which is new. It's maybe you should call it an electric piano, and just it's kind of a little housewarming party, or just a party, most likely in an apartment, a loft, something like that. It's really cool. And then they're making too much noise at the party, and the neighbors get like annoyed. Kind of understandable, but hey, that's what you get if you live in a skyscraper in the city. I guess you should kind of take that for granted if you live there. Then here we've got an overview, because we're finally going to be building an apartment, because of course it's possible to build apartments in The Sims 4, but in The Sims 4 city living, because it's all about cities, and in cities you often don't have a house, but you've got an apartment or a penthouse, depends on how much you've got to spend. But here we're building a penthouse, most likely, because it's kind of big, and it seems like it's you can really have just unlimited space to kind of build on. This is kind of different, in my opinion, to what it looked like in the previous shot, which we saw, where you can simply put like an entire house, boom, on the lot. or you can just build it there. This seems to be a little bit more integrated in the rest of the building, which I personally prefer. And I'll definitely building some awesome like penthouses in The Sims 4 when it comes out, because I'm so excited for it. Finally, just actual new building possibilities for houses, which you can do. I really like these windows. We actually zoom in on them in this shot. They're just very industrial, remind me of Casey Neistat. If you watch him, he's a YouTuber in New York. I refer to New York a lot in this video, I know that, but I really had those windows really reminded me of his office. If you watch his videos, you definitely know it. If you don't watch his videos, this might be a silly statement. Also, you see an elevator, and I'm not sure whether it's been confirmed yet, whether elevators are actually going to be a build buy mode item, but I think they will be, because in late night we had elevators as well. So elevators are coming back, or at least I hope so. Then we've got a new curtain, we've got that electric piano again. Also, you see over here, again, you see a little bit more of a technical part at the right, not in the empty area, but to the left of that. You see some water pipes, I believe. Maybe that's like referring to the more technical part of it. Maybe you've got to think about water and electricity as well now, but I'm not entirely sure. But that's just something which for some reason popped into my mind, and I think that's kind of a realistic thing, but I'm not too sure. Here we see another bed. Yes, at least 2 new beds coming to The Sims 4, and this is a very kind of hippie, colorful, decorated apartment, which is kind of cool. Not really my style, but it's kind of cool that you can, of course, an apartment. It's crazy that you've got a skyscraper with like, say, 100 floors, that everyone's got its own private way to kind of decorate it. So now we're zooming into it. You see a water pipe, which is kind of cool. I believe we've never had that in The Sims 4 before, but I don't have too much knowledge about that stuff. And then here we see the city, and I just realized that I've not said the name of it yet. It's San Myshuno. It's kind of a name which I'm not sure about whether I can pronounce it correctly. But it's, that's the name of the city. And it's got 4 neighborhoods. And this is the more, the modern luxurious business district, I guess. With the modern skyscrapers. Then we had the Brooklyn area, like I said already. And some other areas as well. And then here you see that it turns to night. And wow, this looks insane. I'm so excited for this view and being able to build apartments with views over this skyline. It's simply going to be awesome. And then here you see like a sign which I zoomed into, or which I just stopped the frame at, which shows like a warehouse or just being able to buy clothes. But of course, if you've got Get to Work, you can buy clothes already, or at least you can sell clothes already, because you can have your own clothing store. And then here we've actually got kind of like a park situation. We've got a park in the city. In cities, you've often got parks, of course. And then you see that, that they just got like a festival going on with very many cool lights. I really am curious how they build that, because the area, the angles between them are not regular. Also, you've got that round thing within the middle, like some places to sit at. It's like at the right and then a little bit more to the bottom, but not too much. At the right, you've got like those curves and that half walls. I'm not sure what is going on there, but it seems like you can build it. But at the same time, there are so many things which are not possible in build mode in this, that it might be very many new build mode items, or especially build mode techniques, but most likely it's just being able to, I'm not entirely sure. I've really got to figure this out, because I don't know. But it looks cool. It's also kind of in the more oriental style, which is cool. You've got like a food, not a food truck, but kind of a food, place where you can, of course, buy food, more oriental styled food. And it's kind of cool how they implemented different cultures into the game as well, kind of creating the possibility to create kind of a Chinatown. Here we've got a hot chili pepper contest, who can eat the hottest chili pepper. That's probably maybe a new trait, being able to eat spicy food, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Like I said, I'm not too much into gameplay. I think it's cool, but I simply don't know too much about it. Then here we've got the karaoke bar. It's in a more modern area, as you can see by the surroundings. And I'm very curious what those lights are, those purple, pink lights. They are really cool. If I would be able to add those to my buildings, that would be awesome, because I believe those are very modern and they just really look awesome. So I guess we'll be able to add it because this is simply just a building. And then here we've got the karaoke part where they're just singing and doing all kinds of random stuff. I think karaoke is a new activity which you can do. And then here we've got fireworks. I believe we've never seen fireworks in The Sims 4 before. Well, I'm definitely sure that we've never seen it in The Sims 4 before. And in The Sims 1 it was there, and maybe The Sims 3 as well. But it looks kind of awesome, kind of to celebrate that The Sims 4 City Living is coming, because it is coming. I'm very happy that it's coming and it's going to be awesome in my opinion. But please let me know what you think of The Sims 4 City Living. We're just watching the end of the trailer now, nothing too important there except for the release date, because that's the 1st of November, which is really soon already, which I'm happy about because we've had to wait for this expansion pack for months, but it's coming out in like 1.5 months, which is not too much. So I'm very happy that it's coming, and please let me know in the comments what is like the best aspect of this expansion pack in your opinion. In my opinion, it's the possibility to build apartments and penthouses and stuff, and also just the entire new world. I've forgotten the name already, I just looked it up and now I've forgotten. Something. I think it's a really cool world and just an entire new atmosphere. I've said it a lot, but the new atmosphere is what makes me happiest. But let me know what you think is best about this expansion pack. And then, yeah, I hope to see you back in another news video in which I'm going to talk about, other news which comes out in the near future about The Sims 4 City Living, because I guess that there will be a lot of news coming up in like the upcoming few weeks, because of course this expansion pack is coming pretty quickly already. Also, just be there with regular videos, so don't worry about that. So anyways, thanks for watching, and then I hope to see you back later.